growing up, and I was just jogging through a downtown area of Shreveport, Louisiana at the time. There's a trail that leads through it, and I remember there were these kids there. They let the window down. They were like, "Nigger!" And they just like yelled it out, and it was in the 2000s. And I remember hearing that, and I was taken aback naturally, but I at that moment I kind of realized, this is a dirt or a grime that's still in the water, in this place.
People were always asking me why I was so dark, which made me feel uncomfortable and powerless. And as I assimilated with all my classmates, and as I, went around to other towns or bigger cities and saw other dark people, it made me actually form my own form of discrimination against them.
I'm in an interracial marriage, and so I've received racial discrimination because of who I chose to love. Seeing me and my husband together, I think it makes people uncomfortable because we're not supposed to want to be together. Both white and black people have told us that we shouldn't want to be together, and yet it's the most natural thing in the world to love him.
Because I discriminate in thought, not in action, but in thought. I discriminate against fat people. And you're not even supposed to say fat people. You're supposed to say overweight people or large people. Just the fact that I said fat people, I think, is indication of my discrimination. I'm not proud of it, but I'm admitting that it's my truth.
You nigger! And it didn't even register to me what was said out loud. But my girlfriend knew exactly what was said. She ran downstairs and, started yelling at the kid, told him to leave the house. And it was only until later that I started clicking it all together that that's what actually had happened.
You're such a faggot, right? And I used to tell my brother that all the time. I used to always call him a faggot. And he was 10 years younger than me, and I would provoke him and I would make fun of him because when he was 4 years old, I knew that he was gay. And he didn't know it. So as he grew, it became more and more prevalent or obvious that he is going to be gay. And so I would catch him, trying on my ex-wife's clothes on, and I'd call him names. And I blame myself sometimes that his struggle may have not been as difficult if I was more accepted.
Early school years, where people would always make fun of my, how I looked. They'd always, say ching ching chong and those racist remarks, and give me that slanted eye thing. I don't know what that's about, but
at first, I think I was more, that made me feel shy, but then for some reason I start feeling ashamed where I came from too, because that's how they make me feel. So I start feeling that. And then eventually, with the time, I started telling I was from the city, so nobody will say anything bad about me or making me feel that I was less because I came from a small village.
I remember when I was a little kid, I was just looked at differently. And I don't think it's because I'm gay. I don't think, this is that mindset when I was a child. I don't think it's because I'm gay. I think it's because I speak a different language, or I look different, and my hair and my skin is different. And it's not as good as. It's not as good as others. It's different, and it's something that needs to go back beyond the border because it's just not worthy.
It was shocking, really, when you look back and you realize that you just inhale the kind of prejudice, even against yourself,